Hello, hello viewers, Assalamu alaikum. Now I will tell you the story of Oedipus Rex, the drama by Sophocles. In the picture, we can see Oedipus and his once his mother, and then after a long time his wife also. King Oedipus Rex, English. Introduction. The story of Oedipus, King Oedipus Rex. Introduction. Oedipus Rex, written by the ancient Greek playwright Sophocles, is a unique tragedy about human destiny and self-realization. The life of Oedipus, the king of Thebes, becomes entangled in a curse of fate. An oracle declares that he will kill his own father and marry his own mother. The main story. A terrible plague A terrible plague breaks out in Thebes. Oedipus sends a messenger to the temple of God. The messenger reports that the cause of the plague is that the murderer of the former king, Laius, has not been punished. Oedipus vows to find the murderer. The blind prophet Tiresias reveals that the murderer is none other than Oedipus himself. Oedipus becomes furious and considers him a conspirator. Queen Jocasta says that prophecies do not always come true. She explains that Laius was killed by a group of bandits. After hearing the details of the incident, Oedipus becomes suspicious. A messenger arrives from Corinth and announces that King Polybus has died. Oedipus is happy that he has not killed his father. The messenger then reveals that Oedipus is not actually the biological son of Polybus. As a child, he had been given to Polybus by a shepherd from Thebes. The shepherd admits that the child was actually the son of Laius and Jocasta. The child had been ordered to be killed by piercing his feet, and that is why he was named Oedipus, meaning swollen foot. The truth is revealed. Oedipus has killed his own father and married his own mother. Jocasta commits suicide out of shame and grief. Oedipus blinds himself and goes into exile. No one can escape the curse of fate. Film reference. The story is portrayed in the film Oedipus Rex 1967, directed by the Italian filmmaker Pier Paolo Pasolini. The themes of this tragedy are also reflected in modern films such as Old Boy 2003 and Incendies 2010. Oedipus Rex 1967, the story of the film. Pasolini's Oedipus Rex is based on the famous Greek tragedy by Sophocles. The film begins in Italy in the 1920s, where a baby boy is born. The boy's father is consumed by jealousy and fear and believes that one day his son will take his place. The story then moves into a mythical ancient world. The newborn child is taken away from his parents and abandoned. However, the child survives and is brought to King Polybus and Queen Merope of Corinth. The royal couple adopts him as their own son and names him Oedipus. Oedipus grows up to be a brave and confident young man. One day he learns that it is written in his destiny that he will kill his own father and marry his own mother. Horrified by this prophecy, Oedipus believes that Polybus and Merope are his real parents. Therefore, in order to protect them from the prophecy, he leaves Corinth and sets out into the unknown. On the way, he has a quarrel with an elderly nobleman at a narrow crossroads. During the violent confrontation, Oedipus kills the old man, unaware that he is actually his biological father, Laius. Oedipus then continues toward Thebes. At that time, Thebes is devastated by the terror of a dreadful sphinx. The sphinx asks travelers a riddle, but no one is able to answer it. Oedipus succeeds in solving the famous riddle and frees Thebes from the terror of the Sphinx. The grateful people of Thebes make him their king. Oedipus then marries Jocasta, the widow of the dead king Laius. Thus, unknowingly, he marries his own mother. Many years later, a terrible plague breaks out in Thebes, and Oedipus begins to investigate its cause. The oracle declares that Thebes will not be free from its suffering until the murderer of the former king Laius is punished. Determined to discover the truth, Oedipus gradually learns that the elderly nobleman he killed was Laius and that his murderer was none other than himself. At the same time, it is revealed that Polybus was not his biological father and that Jocasta was his real mother. After learning the truth, Jocasta is overcome by shame and grief, while Oedipus comes to realize the terrible truth about his identity and his life. Oedipus imposes a severe punishment upon himself and leaves Thebes in blindness. Oedipus himself in the picture. Toward the end of the film, the story returns to modern Italy, where Oedipus can be seen as a symbol of a troubled man of the modern age. For Pasolini, the story of Oedipus is not merely an ancient Greek tale of fate, it is also a story of the human struggle with identity, family, desire, guilt, and destiny. Through the modern Italian sections at the beginning and end of the film, Pasolini connects the story of Oedipus with his own childhood and personal experiences. Thus, Oedipus Rex is both a cinematic adaptation of Sophocles' tragedy and a deeply autobiographical and psychological interpretation by Pasolini. Conclusion: Oedipus Rex is not merely a play, it is a symbol of human destiny and self-realization. As viewers respond to this video, it is natural for a question to arise in their minds. Can human beings truly escape their destiny? With this, we conclude the story. Note: this writing is by no means intended to be a substitute for the film or its story. It is merely a brief attempt to introduce the film. I hope that those who are interested will find time and opportunity to watch the film themselves. Thank you all.